Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's been a month since the last town hall, and I'm so happy to be here again after this month. You know, it's crazy. We did the town halls week after week after week for almost a year and a half or something close to it. And then in the last month, we didn't have any town hall, and that's totally on me. I had a new baby girl that she was born exactly 1 month ago, and it was a roller coaster for me myself personally. In the last month, it was pretty hard for me to get into the town halls. Also, I had to travel to Israel for something, and all in all, I just couldn't do it. It was always not a good time for me. So I'm sorry for anyone that wanted the town halls, but I wasn't there. But yeah, you know, I'm here, and I really waited to be back for the community, to meet you all, discuss about Evmux, discuss about live streaming as a whole, content creation as a whole. And I'm super happy to be here. So for anyone that is new to our town halls, just real quick, what is the run of show and what we do in town halls? We say hello, we go through the chat to say hi to anyone, and I encourage you all to let us know where you're tuning in from. Then we're just diving into questions. There are some weeks that we have announcement or we have specific topics. Today, it's totally after 1 month of no town hall, is really just, you know, to get the opportunity to meet up and answer any questions you might have on the Evmux platform. So I'm all yours. Just use this platform to ask me questions in the chat, and we'll go through the questions one by one as much as possible. And that's basically it. Just another great opportunity to connect, to be better as content creators, be better as Evmux users, and I'm super happy to be here again. So let's go and start with the comments that we have for today, and just encouraging you all to subscribe to the channel and of course like, comment, just help us grow. It's amazing. Cool. So first of all, starting with Albert. So Albert saying, "Good evening, Evmux team. Looking forward to another fantastic town hall. Thank you for joining, Albert." And we have Ryan Milky 14 that is joining us from England, UK. So it's pretty late for you, and I really appreciate that you decided to join us now instead of going to sleep. So that's great. Darius is in the house. Good evening, joining from Mobile, Alabama. I missed you guys. We missed you too. And here we are. We're not going anywhere. TVM saying, "Saludos desde Chile." I guess I'm not speaking Spanish that well, but I guess that you're from Chile. Más tutoriales en español. So you're asking for more tutorials in español, I guess. That's definitely something we're thinking about. So that's maybe a good opportunity to tell anyone that is speaking Spanish and would like to create content about Evmux and tutorials about Evmux. Feel free to reach out to us, and we would love to, just use your content and to publish it to our audience. So of course it's great. Barber Pro. Hello from Raleigh, North Carolina, I guess, NC, right? Excited to add Evmux to our podcast. All right, sounds good. The podcast is the under the under what? Underrated profession. Okay, sorry. It was hard for me to read when it's one word. All right, all right. Domino Entertainment is in the house. Hello, Domino. How are you? Darius is saying, "Congrats on the baby girl. That is wonderful." Yes, definitely wonderful. But my nights are not that wonderful anymore, huh? But all good, all good. No complaints here. Joseph is here. Hey, lad. Long time no chat. Yes, yes, yes. Hi, Joe. How are you? Joe and I had a very, very intense project in the last month. Very, very good one, but yet a lot of work to do. And I'm happy that you're here joining me and you have time to do that. So let us know, how was your event? Joe had a very, very fully packed agenda event happening this week. Albert is encouraging you all to like the Evmux YouTube channel. Yes, yes, yes. Poppin is saying also, "Congrats on the baby. Thank you very, very much." The Basement here from Las Vegas. Oh, how is it going in Las Vegas these days? Is it very, very hot as it should be? Barber Pro also saying, "Congratulations." Christian said, "You back?" Yes, I am back. It was 1 month that it's not that I've been in a vacation. I just couldn't go online for a live stream, but I think that's part of it, and I think a lot of you can, um, you know, anyone, I think, in the content creation industry, we are going through these times that we don't have the time, or we don't have the energy, or whatever the reason is, to go live and keep going with content creation. Although it is extremely important to be consistent, I think it's just, we're human beings, and it makes total sense that sometimes we need to pause for a little bit. So here for myself, it's not that I didn't have energy or something like that, not at all, but just something personal that I couldn't go live for about 4 weeks. And I'm back, and I hope that it's okay. I think it's totally fine, and it happens. And the most important thing is to be back and keep going, because sometimes when you stop to do something, let's just take an example of going to the gym, right? You go to the gym, all good, and then you stop for a month or two because something happens. It's so hard to go back. It's just hard. You say, wow, I did so well, and then now I need to rebuild that from the beginning, from scratch. But yes, this is where, this is the test, basically. If you can overcome this and start again, I think That's amazing. And this is what I'm doing here. It was, no doubt that I'm going to keep going with the town halls. It wasn't even the second thought, but just in general, I know from a lot of content creators that they have these second thoughts here and there. But those that keep going, those are successful at the end of the road. Cool. We have what else we have in the chat? Joe is saying, hopefully our time together wasn't your reason for missing your past town halls. No, 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 not at all. The town halls are in the evenings, and our time was during the day. But my evenings were very, very hard in the last month, and it's totally um, because of the baby, but it's in a good way, She was just born and she needed daddy, not only mommy, and that's totally fine. All right, all right, all right. What else we have here? Mm-mm-mm. All right. Okay. So we have a question from Albert, and that's again a good opportunity to ask you all, please ask questions, because this is the point of the town halls, to just listen to your questions about the platform, listen to your feedback, and grow from there. This is basically the main reason of making those town halls. Of course, once we have announcements, we will provide announcements, and we have a big one for next week. But for this week, I'm here for you to answer any questions you might have. Cool. So Albert is saying, how is Anthony and the Evmux development growth going? All right. So I don't think it's related specifically for Anthony, because Anthony is no longer with Evmux for quite a bit. I think something in around half a year or so. But Evmux is developing really, really fast. The development team is working days and nights, and we have a lot of surprises coming. And I think it's worth mentioning that when we are developing a product, and I think it's in general with any SaaS product like that what happens is that we are developing new features. We release them, and if you remember, we released a lot of features in the beginning of the year, a lot of features. And then this is the time for two things. First of all, making sure that everything works very, very stable. Secondly, get all the feedback from the users and understand what else they need. So of course, we have our thoughts, we have the roadmap, but we also listen all the time. And then, meanwhile, we're doing two things. We're working on stability. We're working on developing and improving the features we just released according to the feedback we get. And we are starting on working on new features. But developing new features takes time, right? So I think you'll see another cycle of features coming pretty soon, starting next week. So stay tuned. But for sure, Evmux continues to growing fast, developing good features. So definitely stay tuned, and please share with us your feedback. It's the most helpful thing for us to grow faster and to understand what the market needs, is by you, the community, just sharing with us what you want and what you would like to see in the platform, what works good and what you don't like, right? Cool. All right, so thank you, Albert, for this great question. And Joe is sharing with us, just wrapped up a project that included 60 plus Evmux recordings, that included over 150 speakers, presenters. It was roller coaster of a project. So yes, Joe is sharing with us all, and we were part of it as production team. We helped Joe and his team to create this. And I can tell you from the production side of things that if we wouldn't have Evmux as the tool to record, it was almost impossible to do what we did with the capacity of people that we have. Like, it was just cost way more money because it has to include way more people in this project. But with Evmux, we could do things pretty simpler. In this specific project, we had the demand for having a very specific layout of bubbles of 2, 3, 4 speakers and the share screen on the screen. So without being able to do the processing in Evmux and be able to just control the layout on the pixel, as we tend to say, it was impossible to do that. Of course, there are other platforms such as OBS, for example, to do that, but then it was extremely hard to make all this happen because to create this is just way, way, way harder. I'm not even talking about the recording, that in Evmux it's being recorded and then it's on the cloud. With OBS, you record locally and then it caused a lot of issues. Anyways, I think that Evmux was a key factor that this project was so successful with such a low budget and just few people working on this project. And I think that's the power of tools like Evmux, that, you know, once you make things easier, then it means that you need less people to do a job that more people needs, and it connects, you know, all to the all AI revolution and stuff like that. That, you know, now you don't need 10 people to do something that one person can do with a lot of ChatGPT and all the AI tools. So I'm not saying that Evmux is anywhere nearby the ChatGPT revolution, but with live streaming and with recording content and such, Evmux is definitely a tool that can save you a lot of time and then, as a result, a lot of money. So thank you, Joe, for sharing that. Poppin Misery is asking, why when I'm a host, I can see the chat, but if I'm a guest, I can't see it without it taking over the entire screen and can't see the stream. All right, I think I understand the question. So as a host, like myself now, I can see all the chats coming in Evmux, and then I can decide what chats will be highlighted on the stream. Like now I'm highlighting the Poppin Misery question. All of you see that, although I see the whole chat on the left side of my screen. For guests, you are able, of course, to see the comments coming, even though they are not highlighted on the screen. On the right side, where you see the internal chat, there is another tab for social comments. So you definitely can see that. And then if the host, like myself now, highlighting something, it will be highlighted for the guests as well. So they will see that and they will know that this is the comment that is being highlighted right now. I hope I answered the question. If not, please feel free to add a follow-up question. All right. All right, so Albert is saying, FYI, I'm really looking forward to activating the multi-camera feature with NDI. I would love to really understand what exactly is missing for you in the multi-camera feature as it is right now, because I do think, you know, as long as your computer will recognize the camera, even though it's through NDI, then you will be able to add this camera to the stream in Evmux, but definitely open to hear your thoughts and what is missing for you there. All right, Ryan Milky is asking, where do I go to report some issues I have found using the Evmux program? I enjoy using it, but struggle with these issues. So of course, feel free to do two things. First of all, you have the support bubble in Evmux. So on the bottom right, wherever you are in the platform of Evmux, you have the support bubble and you can open a ticket. That's one option. Another option, which sometimes is even better, is to go to our amazing Facebook group. And that's a great opportunity to again, encourage you all to go to the Facebook group and join the amazing community we have there. And what's nice about the community, that if you share those issues you might have, so one, our team is looking at it and can reply immediately, but then also other community members can help as well. And maybe it's just a very easy question that they can answer. Maybe it's an issue that they face as well and they got any help before and they can share their experience. I think just more people with more experience can see your issues and give you more feedback. And sometimes the Facebook group is even better than just the support ticket. So it really depends on the issues, but I think both ways should be good to go, at least to begin with. All right, Christian is sharing with us, we are using Evmux for training videos. Amazing, that's great. So thank you, Christian, and thank you for joining. And Christian is a great example for a very valuable community member that shared so much feedback with us along the way and just help us, to make Evmux a better solution. So thank you, Christian, for all your help throughout the years of working with us together. Cool. I encourage you all again, ask me more questions. I'm just here for you, and I can share with you that we're getting into the summer soon, and our plan, as I said before, is first of all coming back to the town halls full power every week, every Thursday. We are thinking about, and that's maybe worth asking you, because as of now, town halls are at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and the problem with it, or the challenge with it, is that our dear community members from Europe and also from APAC, the time is not amazing for them. So if you remember, about a year ago, the town halls were at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then it's kind of evening at Europe, and we are thinking if it's worth switching again to this time of the day. It's not a done deal, of course, we're just thinking of it. Anyways, town halls are going to be once a week for sure, just trying to think about the best time, just to make sure that the people from Europe can do that. But also, sometimes 1 p.m. in the middle of the day, it's a working time, and sometimes people cannot join because of it. So, thinking of it. So I'm just sharing with you, as we always do, sharing everything with our dear community. And also, I would like to share with you, as I said, starting from next week, stay tuned for a lot of new surprises, a lot of new features coming into the Evmux platform. Always trying to think what Evmux needs to be the best-in-class solution. And and it's also important to mention that we are always working on stability as well. I think Evmux is way more stable than it was before, but still, with live streaming specifically, I think there is no one perfect. There is always issues that happen, sometimes because of the platform, sometimes not because of the platform, but still the platform needs to find the ways to mitigate, even if the problem is with the guests or the hosts, and to find the way to manage that in the most professional way. So we are always investing in it and working on it a lot. Cool. I'll go through the chat one last time before wrapping up. So anyone with any last comments, feel free to share them. So Albert is saying, is there a way for us to see comments from other contributors, Facebook, YouTube, etc.? What do you mean by other contributors? Because when you are streaming, multi-stream to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., you do see the comments coming from the different platforms. Like now, I see comments coming from YouTube and Facebook. So feel free to clarify, what do you mean, Albert? The basement is saying that I'm ignoring a question, so I'm not ignoring. I maybe missed your question, so I'm sorry. Feel free to ask the question again. All right. Yoruba Kingdom TV. Hey, Elad, any package for non-profit organization? So there is no specific package per se for a non-profit organization. With that said, we are definitely very sensitive for any financial issue or any needs, and specifically for nonprofit, that we do understand that, it's for nonprofit and you're just doing good. So feel free to reach out and let's see what we can do for you. Of course, I'm not saying no. I'm definitely open to see how we can make it work. All right, Joe is saying, for everyone, I'm just waiting over here for a lad to invite me as one of his own town hall guests. All right, you bet, man. I forgot to mention that all those recordings happened in short and rapid timeline. Yeah, so we had about 2 weeks to record all the 60 plus recordings with 150 speakers. It was fully packed agenda for all of us, but it was a lot of fun. And it was great working with Joe and his team. Joe is a pro. Amazing, amazing man. All right. There is a question in Facebook asking if we are going to add multi-cameras. So this feature is something we released about 6 months ago. We do have multi-camera. There is also a great YouTube video in our channel, so feel free to look for Evmux multi-camera, and I'm sure you will be able to find a great video explaining A to Z how to use multi-cameras in Evmux with one click of a button. Super simple. All right, Ray Smith is asking, how can you auto-mute mic when playing uploaded video clips so you don't have recorded echo like you can inside StreamYard? All right, so in Evmux, when you are playing a video, it really depends how you, let's start with pro scenes. It's easier to explain. It really depends how you create the scene, because if you have a scene of the speakers, like my scene right now, that it's only myself, and then when I play a video, it will be another scene with the video only, and then back to myself. Once the video is playing, I'm not on stage. So whatever I'll do, I'm basically muted. No echo, and I will be just not part of the scene, so the viewers won't be able to hear me. Basically, with the dynamic scene, it works the same. Once you play a video clip in a dynamic scene, all the speakers and guests are muted. So I think in Evmux, it's very robust than in other platforms. We also have the auto switch. So you can create a scene with a video and configure it to auto switch to another scene after that. Actually, we do that in the town halls with the countdown timer. The countdown timer is playing and then auto switching for myself on the screen. Until the switch is happening, I'm basically muted because you cannot hear me. So I'm really curious to hear from you what echo you are referring to, because there shouldn't be any echo as such. All right. Albert is saying you can see the other site's comments, but from YouTube, I can only see YouTube comments. I'm sorry that I don't really understand your question, Albert. Maybe it's too late for me tonight and I just don't get it. All right. Like Joe cannot see the Facebook comments until you allowed show them. All right, I think I understand what you're saying, that you are on YouTube watching and you don't see the comments coming from Facebook. So basically you'd like Evmux to get the comments from Facebook and throw them into the YouTube chat. Actually, interesting idea. I never thought about it, and of course it's not something we have as of now, but it's worth check if it's... Darius is saying, Albert, I have been able to achieve some multi-input with NDI router and the using share screen in Evmux. It is almost like an ATEM for NDI sources. Okay, that's pretty advanced, and thank you, Darius, for sharing that. Cool. So with that, I think that's a great time to wrap up. Say again, thank you everyone for joining after 1 month of no town halls. I really, really, really appreciate that. It was great meeting you all again, and I honestly can't wait for next week for the great announcement we're going to have. And thank you for sharing all the questions. And with that, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.
All right, I'm live. That was easy.